Okay, so are you stuck on that really frustrating intermediate English plateau? You know, you've got the basics down, but you're just ready to sound, well, truly advanced. If that sounds like you, then you are in the perfect place. Let's dive right in.
Think of the next few minutes as your own personal roadmap to fluency. We're going to go way beyond what the textbooks teach you so you can start using English with some real confidence and, precision. So, you ready to take that next step?
We're going to break this down into 3 super clear steps. First, we're going to focus on how to sound more natural. Then, we'll work on sharpening your accuracy. And finally, we'll give you the exact language you need to speak with authority. See, each step builds on the one before it, so let's get started. First up, idioms. And we're going to focus on body idioms. Honestly, these are such a fantastic key to unlocking a more authentic, natural sound. When you use them correctly, it just shows you have a real command of the language. So let's break down a few of the most useful ones right now.
Let's start with give someone the cold shoulder. Now, this has nothing to do with the temperature. It's actually a great visual metaphor for ignoring someone on purpose. Just imagine literally turning your back and showing them your shoulder instead of your face. That's the exact feeling this idiom captures.
For instance, after the argument, she gave him the cold shoulder for a week. You can totally picture that situation, can't you? A full week of just frosty silence. It's so much more vivid than just saying she ignored him. Okay, next we have pull someone's leg. Now, don't let the image here fool you. This has absolutely nothing to do with a physical action. It's all about playfully teasing someone, telling them a little white lie just for fun.
So if your friend suddenly says they bought a private jet, you could laugh and say, "No way, you're pulling my leg." It's a super friendly way to call out a joke, and you'll hear it in casual conversations all the time. It's a great one to have in your back pocket.
This idiom just paints such a powerful picture. I mean, think about an animal, like a turtle, poking its head out from its safe shell, making itself vulnerable. When you stick your neck out, you're basically doing the same thing. You're taking a personal risk for something or for someone.
So in this case, the phrase shows a high-stakes situation perfectly. He didn't just disagree. He took a real personal risk. Using stuck his neck out adds this whole other layer of drama and courage to the sentence. It's really powerful.
And hey, here are a few more quick-fire expressions to describe some extreme feelings. A really scary movie? It was hair-raising. That tense penalty shootout at the end of a game? Nail-biting. If you're just incredibly happy, you're over the moon. And a state of pure bliss, you're on or in seventh heaven. And definitely pay attention to those prepositions. That little detail makes all the difference.
All right, let's move on to step 2. Now that we're sounding a bit more natural, we've got to make sure we're accurate. Good grammar is really the foundation of sounding authoritative, and getting these tricky verb patterns right is going to make you sound incredibly polished.
Okay, here is a super common mistake. It's one of those things that's an instant giveaway. Verbs like recommend, suggest, and avoid, they should always be followed by the ing form, not the to infinitive. So saying I recommend checking instead of to check, it's such a small change, but it makes a huge difference in your accuracy.
Okay, but get ready for a twist, because just when you think you've got the rule figured out, English loves to throw a curveball. The pattern we just learned, it completely flips on its head when you use the passive voice.
Just look at this comparison. In the active voice, it's straightforward. I advise leaving. Simple. But what happens when we use the passive voice, where the subject receives the action? The sentence becomes, you are advised, and boom, the pattern switches to the to infinitive, to leave. Mastering this is absolutely key for sounding sophisticated, especially in formal or academic English.
And here's another quick accuracy win for you. The verb regard is always paired with the word as. It's a set phrase. So it's always regarded as the best, never regarded like. Nailing little details like this is one of those things that instantly signals you're an advanced speaker.
And that brings us to our final step, speaking with authority. This is where we get to combine that natural sound and that pinpoint accuracy to talk about data and trends like a real expert. This is so important for exams like the IELTS or for business meetings or any kind of academic discussion.
So when you see a chart like this, what do you say? It went up? It went down? It stayed the same? I mean, that's okay, but it's not very authoritative, is it? To make a real impact, you need precise, dynamic language.
So let's upgrade our vocabulary a bit. Instead of just saying increase, you could say housing prices soared or sales skyrocketed. For a really sharp fall, try the company's value plummeted.
And what about when things become steady? They leveled off, or they stabilized. Using a good variety of these powerful verbs is really the key to painting a clear and professional picture.
And hey, while we're talking about powerful descriptions, let's quickly clear up two adjectives that get confused all the time when talking about places. Sprawling is all about size and how much area something covers, like a sprawling city. Rundown, on the other hand, is about condition, like a rundown building. It's a simple distinction, but a really crucial one for accurate descriptions. So, let's bring this all home. We've gone on a journey from sounding more natural with idioms to sharpening our accuracy with these specific verb patterns, and then finally to speaking with real authority about trends. That right there is your three-step path to taking your English to a whole new level.
So how do you make all this actually stick? Well, here's a really simple, actionable plan. Each week, just try to use one new idiom in a real conversation. When you write an email or an essay, double-check it for those tricky verb patterns. And maybe find a chart in a news article and try to describe it out loud using that new vocabulary. You know, consistency really is everything.
And now, it's over to you. Whether you decide to start with idioms or those verb patterns or the trend vocabulary, the most important step is just the one you take next. So the real question is, what's one thing from all this that you're going to use today to start your journey to fluency?